For the first time since the ethnic violence engulfed Manipur back in May 2023, a Meitei MLA and former Rural Development Minister Yumnam Khemchand Singh travelled to two Kuki villages in the hill districts in a confidence-building measure and to break the ice. Travelling to Litan, a Kuki hamlet in Ukhrul district bordering Myanmar, the BJP leader interacted with Kuki villagers and inquired about their life and hardship faced in the past 2.5 years. Khemchand visited a Kuki relief camp at Litan Sarekhong Baptist Church and interacted with the inmates who fled their homes during the violence. With the coming of Christmas, we should all pray for the return of peace in the state, he said. Khemchand, who is also the former Assembly Speaker, consoled the inmates and told them that the return of peace should be the primary target of all communities residing in the state. He reminded the 173 Kuki inmates at the relief camp that conflict exists in every part of the world, but it should not be allowed to hinder progress and development of the state. He said that conflict should not be allowed to affect the future of the children either. It may be mentioned here that as a rural development minister, Khemchand brought a package for construction of 7,000 houses from the centre for the internally displaced persons. He had also earlier organized a relief camp for internally displaced persons of the Meitei community at Manipur College in Imphal for over 7 months and helped the inmates to return home in Serau and Sugunu villages. Hoping San Shimre, State BJP Vice President and prominent Tangkhul Naga leader who accompanied Khemchand during the visit, said that it was a remarkable gesture by the latter to travel to Kuki villages in the hills when everyone today is reluctant to venture to another community's area. Another Tangkhul Naga leader, Mark Luithing, former ADC chairman, said that why Khemchand is the first leader to start people-to-people contact after the May 2023 violence erupted. He said Yumnam Khemchand also visited Chasad Kuki village in Kamjon district, also bordering Myanmar.
Conflict is the Pithivigi, the Gayambada Duntui. Conflict. Adu, I coach the Sutoiba conflict. Madam Americanda, I coach Navayadava. Adu the development process the arm so so why should not we think for this young generation? Why should not we think for this young generation? I coin a soibana. I future angang wagadobi. I don't know Halwa, Premium like Gat Punagan Tamiraganda, what Hill and Valley, and you Punagan Tamiraganda. Develop labor equal development labor. State of Seminar C. I believe. Thank you.
So indeed, viewers, this is a very, very significant development as far as the crisis in Manipur is concerned. Ever since the violence broke out back on May 3rd, 2023, there were practically no persons from either community going to the areas where the other community resides. And this created this stalemate, this stall and impasse as far as the relations between the two communities is concerned. There was no way to resolve the differences and the problems that existed between them. And as a first step today, very, very significantly, the former minister Y. Khemchand Singh has taken that first step to bridge the gap between the two communities, that is the Meiteis and the Kukis, extending a hand and assuring the people that conflicts may exist, but that does not mean that people cannot coexist, people cannot overcome their differences, and that the development of the state cannot go on. To tell us more on this, I'm now being joined by our chief news editor live from our newsroom. Nabrun, as I was just saying, it's a very commendable step that has been taken by the former minister, taking that first step, extending the hand and, trying to bridge the gap that has existed for so long now between these two communities. And that very first step has been taken by Y. Khemchand today.
Absolutely, Ronak. Could this be the turning point? Could this be the turning point in the conflict, in the crisis? Yes, the crisis has continued for almost 3 years now, but in these 3 years, we have never seen a Meitei MLA or vice versa, or a Kuki's MLA actually visiting a relief camp of the opposite community. Yes, the reasons have been obvious for everyone to see, but this is a big step given the situation, given the time when everyone is saying dialogue between the communities is the road ahead, and it is the IDPs. This is also very symbolic, this visit by Khemchand to the relief camp housing Kuki people, because it is the internally displaced people who are the worst sufferers of this ethnic conflict, this ethnic crisis. They have been in relief camps for almost 3 years now. The future of their children at stake, their livelihoods at stake. They are barely managing things. The amount of funds that have been given to them for survival has been cut, and they are desperately looking for livelihoods. They are wanting to return to their places of origin, but that has not happened. Amid all this, Y. Khemchand decides to visit Kuki's relief camp, of course, in Ukhrul, and it's a Kuki hamlet, that area, and he spends some time and also prays for peace. This is full of symbolism and gives hope. It is to be seen now how this visit is taken back in the Imphal Valley, how people react to it, and we can only hope the reactions will be positive. The reactions will be positive. There will be more support for initiatives like this. Probably in the days to come, weeks to come, if we can have a delegation of the MLAs from the Imphal Valley actually going and visiting, and if we can have a delegation of leaders again from the Kuki districts of Kangpokpi, Churachandpur, and even as far as More, if we can have that kind, then be rest assured, Ronak, a solution will come very soon. The IDPs can also start returning to their homes, and things will fall in place, and only the two communities can make it possible. The leaders of the two communities can make it possible. The people can make it possible. The will of the IDPs from both sides can make it possible.
Absolutely, Nabrun. And, just to mention here, the former minister could not have chosen a more opportune time to make this visit, because it comes just ahead of Christmas. And what better time to spread love and the message of peace, extend an olive branch, than during the advent of Christmas.
Absolutely. And here there's another thing to note is that here the Manipur Naga leaders are actually facilitating. They have actually facilitated this visit.
Exactly.
So it's the Naga leaders in Manipur who, even in the past, in the last 2 years, there have been attempts by the Naga leaders in Manipur to bring the two communities, the Meiteis and the Kukis, together, probably to have a discussion, sitting, for different rounds of discussions with both the communities and trying to bring them together. We are aware of such steps, but this is the first time, once again, it's the Naga leaders who have facilitated this visit to a Kukizo village, to a relief camp. So again, it's very special, and it's a welcome initiative. And as we can see, there are BJP leaders, Thankul Naga leaders from the BJP, who have actually facilitated this visit of Y. Khemchand. So it's also very interesting, full of symbolism once again. The hill districts, the Naga hill districts, trying to play the role of a facilitator of peace, and that is very, very encouraging, Ronak.
Absolutely, very encouraging, and one of the most positive developments that we have seen coming out of Manipur in recent times. Thank you very much, Nabrun Goswami, for all those details.